There. Hello. Some comments already. That's so exciting.
I always forget to click off like onto the actual comments.
I never see them straight away.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is actually so exciting. So many people have commented already. Hi. I just gotta go through everybody's comments. Hi.
Everyone gets their own hi.
Hi.
Oh
True.
Oh my god, yeah, I actually need to read so badly. I accidentally left something out. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
I was going to say I wanted to play my Switch, but I knew I wouldn't be reading if I did, so I haven't touched my Switch in like months. So you want to do that soon?
Be proud of yourself.
That's the reason why I've not bought one. I think I love watching people play them, and they look so much fun. But I'm like, I'm literally never going to read if I have a Switch.
Yeah,
so I
literally.
just can't buy it. Yeah,
that's the reason why I'm just not getting one at all. It's just a bad idea.
Yeah, definitely.
I love my Switch, but I haven't gone on it in ages because I've just been too busy. I just don't use it anymore, which is really bad. I want to.
I since like the first lockdown. I bought it specifically because I knew I was going to be off work for like months, and I was like, oh, it'll be something to do. And then I was obsessed with it for like that 3 to 4 months, and now I just picked it up because I'm like, I will fall back into that hole of just wanting to play it, and I can't.
Yeah, no, I get that. Luckily, me and my boyfriend share a Switch, and he has it at his house, so I can't actually play it, which is useful.
That's good.
My friend got one first, and then I got one like October last year. But then in January, he lost his, like on the train, and he had to get a new one. But luckily, he had insurance on it, so he just gave him the money. But it meant that he was buying a new one, so I got him to buy the Animal Crossing Switch so that I could have it.
Nice.
Do you know what? I never insure anything, and I'm so scared that one day I'm going to lose something and like going to have to pay like so much money for a new one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a struggle.
I feel like it would be quite easy to lose as well.
It isn't like I don't know how he managed it like at all, but he must have like either left his bag slightly open and someone grabbed it, or put it down to do something and someone grabbed it.
Yeah.
But it was insane, and it had all of his games in as well. So
God.
like it was
That's so expensive in itself.
yeah. We got like some money for the insurance, and it covered like the Switch and most of the games. But then like didn't actually need to buy all of them again because some of them he'd completed, so he was just like
Cheat the system.
But it's definitely taught me to like take photos of everything expensive that I own, because you had to like show evidence that you had the stuff.
Yeah, my mum, from a really young age, for me anyway, like looking on at her, she's always taken pictures of every single suitcase we've taken on holiday, because so many people have a grey suitcase. If you lose it and you try and describe, oh yeah, I have a grey suitcase that has 4 wheels, like so many suitcases are like that. But you can't remember like the tiny details in those moments that make it your suitcase. So she always takes pictures of like every single side of the suitcase of every single person's suitcase, in case we ever like lost a suitcase.
That is so clever.
The same lost the camera and the suitcase, but that's never happens.
Oh, I need to do that. Yeah.
I used to work at an airport, so I've always like known that when I go on holiday, I need to like put something distinctive on my suitcase, so that like when you see it on the conveyor belt, you know that it's yours.
Isn't that the most time of your life though, when you can see it and you're trying to get through all the people to grab it before it starts again?
Literally.
Such a struggle.
Stressed out.
Nice. It'll be worth some money. Everyone's wanting it.
I was going to say, when I bought mine, it was like they were really rare. I don't know if they just weren't putting them out there anymore, but it was really hard to get a hold of them.
I think everyone.
So many people were getting them. Like at the start of lockdown, so many people were buying them, and so many people were getting it for Animal Crossing that like they were just absolutely like sold out everywhere, and Nintendo hadn't made enough because obviously they didn't know a pandemic was going to happen. They had the stock.
It was the same for the new PlayStation and the new Xbox as well. So PlayStation 5 that sold out for like 4 months, and then so did Xbox as well.
Yeah, Tom was trying to get an Xbox since November, and he just managed to get one like a few weeks ago. And the stress, like I was up with him, I think it was like 4 or 5 times when we like had like 3 laptops on our phones trying to buy one. Stress.
We got the Xbox the first time round. We pre-ordered it, and then we pre-ordered it because we were going to pre-order it anyway. And then like a week later, it was like all the pre-orders are sold out, and then it went out. It came out, and then everything else sold out. So we just did it. We beat all the pre-order. We beat the sold out. We were like, oh, that was lucky.
Yeah, I think the pre-orders sold out really quickly as well. So I'm sure you tried to get one. But anyway, yeah, it took.
There was two releases of them. So the first, I can't remember the details, but the first released in like September maybe. Then they had to have a second release date because they were all sold out, and then it went crazy again or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, not surprising. To be fair, it's very anticipated. I think the release of the new Xbox.
I don't know why we only bloody use it for Netflix now. Anyway.
I was going to say I love that because now there's an Xbox upstairs so that I can watch all my like Netflix and Now TV up there, which is nice. Oh, Akatar. Everyone's reading Akatar. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I need to read it.
I need to read it.
Yeah.
You haven't read it?
I haven't.
I haven't read Sarah J. Maas, Cassandra Clare, or Lee Bardugo. Like, I've read any of them.
At least I've read some Lee Bardugo, so that doesn't make me feel as bad.
Yeah, I haven't read Sarah J. Maas. I've read Lee Bardugo and Cassandra Clare, but I haven't read it.
Maybe we should do a Court of Thorns and Roses reading live, and then we can all read it at the same time.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, literally.
That'd be handy.
Yeah.
Because I definitely want to reread it. So
Yeah, I do. I was debating rereading it before the new book, but I just don't have.
I think I'm just gonna have to mute like all of the words, like because I know so many spoilers already, but I'm just like new ones out. So
Is this Silver and Flames one?
yeah.
Oh, we haven't said what we've been reading yet. What we're going to read.
oh yeah.
Oh, where's mine? Everybody to talk and not just everybody just silently all at the same time just held up their books. I was like, okay.
Oh, let me get a picture of our books.
Okay.
Perfect time. Oh, cute.
I do find it easy to talk about the books because you don't end up talking over each other. So sometimes it's just
Yeah, that is much better.
That'd literally be me.
I got lost in Amsterdam, and it was such a nightmare. But we were quite lucky because it was a girls' trip, so there was 3 of us, and we only bought 1 suitcase for like all of our makeup and straighteners and everything like that, and then we had our hand luggage for our clothes. So we were just without makeup. So we just went to like the shop and bought like foundation and stuff. And we looked awful the first night, like literally awful. And then all our stuff came the next day. We were like, yay!
My biggest fear is like losing a suitcase. I always pack my handbag like that. The necessities, you know what I mean? It's like, knowing me, it would literally happen the one time I don't do that. So
yeah,
We start doing that. I've literally never done that. I'm just like throw everything in the suitcase.
I always do one like change of clothes in hand luggage because I take a big suitcase on anyway for all my meds. So I have loads of space on like the other side of the suitcase to fill. So I always end up putting stuff in that side of the suitcase anyway.
Mm.
So I always have lots of stuff in my hand luggage to take extra clothes. So just in case, pre-warning.
That's a good idea.
You never know.
Yeah, I always
Too smart. Yeah, they really do. I'm loving it so far. Like, I just don't want to put it down. It's really difficult, but then at the same time, like, I don't want it to end.
Yeah.
So I don't want to pick it up because when I pick it up, I just get so lost in it that I'm like, I can't put it down. But then I'm like, I don't want to pick it up because I don't want it to end. It's a real mess.
I want to read it so badly.
Yeah. It's one that I've been putting off so long because because it has so much hype. I'm like, oh, I don't want to read it and like be the only person that doesn't like it, even though I know it's definitely going to be something I'll enjoy.
Mhm.
I just keep putting it off.
I read it like back in like 2015 when I was like first, or even 14 when I was first getting into reading, not really knowing what my taste was. Like just finding Goodreads, just finding BookTube, and everyone was talking about it. So I was like, oh, I'll read it. And I absolutely hated it because I don't like fantasy. But at the time I didn't know what I liked. So if it come out now, I'd be like, I wouldn't even read it.
Yeah.
But because I read it, I feel really bad that I rated it so low, but it's just not my kind of thing whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so important, like figuring out what you do and don't like, because so many times, like people will recommend a book and I'll be like, "Oh, that sounds amazing," and then I'll look into it more and I'll be like, "Actually, I don't think I'd like that."
Yeah. So
I think it's only this year that I've realised what my tastes are. Like last year, 2020 especially, like if I didn't like a book, I just wouldn't read it, and then I unhauled so many books that I've been holding on to that I know I'm never going to read, and it's just so nice. So yeah, but it's taken me like 4 or 5 years to figure that out.
Yeah, same. Only last year I really figured out my like proper reading taste. Like I knew I liked contemporary, but I've started to find like my niche within that genre as well, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I used to try to force myself to read like books about depressing stuff, but like, do you know what I mean? Because it was like this emotional, but basically just depressing books that everybody's like saying that they love. But I'm just like I can't read anything about like anything that serious. Like I can't do it. Like I can't get through the books, so I just avoid it completely. Because now even like whenever people are like, oh, this is like literary and amazing, whatever, but it's about like people like. And like anything about like I don't know, like people dying and stuff, anything about that, I'm just like I cannot read those books, so I just like completely avoid them. But it's like so good because I used to like try to like force myself to enjoy them because they're like all these like emotional books. But
It's not your thing.
yeah.
I'm like that with romance. I have found that out last year. I was trying to read so many, especially during the summertime, and it was just putting me in such a slump because like I'm not bothered about it.
That's like the downside to BookTube, isn't it? Because people like they're not like obviously like forcibly pressuring you, but you have that sort of pressure to read what everyone else loves, even though you know you don't like it, but you want to be part of like that thing.
Yeah.
So you were reading them.
And then there's always that like little feeling that it's like, could I like it though? Could this be the book in that genre? Because I do think that there's a book like in every genre that someone will like that will be for them, but there's so many out there that you're just not going to find it. So where it's like, oh, but this one could be different.
Well, I like romance in a fantasy book. You know, like the Court of Thorns and Roses. I love that. But it's like if it's just solely on the romance and it's in a contemporary setting, I don't want to be reading about the real world. Do you know what I mean? It sounds awful.
I think I'm happy the same.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like I would probably prefer to read the darker stuff than the fluffier stuff. Whereas maybe Rebecca, you'd want the other way around. But yeah, it's weird. But yeah, I found that out, and I'm not afraid to admit it now.
Nice.
Ooh, I've never heard of that.
I've heard of Bethany Seymour, but I haven't heard of the book.
Is she the one that wrote about water?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's quite hard to get into it. I mean, I'm on part 2 now, and it's completely changed. Everything I've learned in part 1, I've started to get into it, started to like all the characters. Part 2 is completely different characters, and it's like I've started a new book. I'm like, I didn't know this was going to happen. I'm not prepared for this.
You have a little stress moment.
And now I'm like, what?
What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. So
I'd be really surprised if The Night Circus isn't my favourite book of this year.
Wow. There's only
can I see the cover again, please? I can't. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can place it. I was like, I can't place it, but I can now. Oh, it looks pretty.
It is.
It was
And-
talked about like constantly a couple of years ago on BookTube. Well, actually, quite a few years ago now. That I've like wanted to read it since then, like literally years and years and years ago. And I still haven't got to
The
it.
inside's really pretty as well.
Aww.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, when the Scarlet Sea came out, there was so much hype, so I bought it. I've got the Night Circus and the Scarlet Sea, and I haven't read either of them, but I'm like, oh, I will one day, and I just don't make myself do it, even though I know I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Myself.
And there's like loads of art inside.
Oh,
That's cute.
Oh, they're cute.
Really kind of delicate, but it's really like atmospheric.
Mm.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, when I first started my channel, I thought I had to read everything, because obviously you want people to watch your videos, you want, to be able to interact with people. But I was saying in one of the vlogs now, like, that's not the point. Like, if I was to sit there and say, oh, I like this book and I didn't, like, what is the point of that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to say, no, I didn't like it. I'll read these, I like these, and I'll talk more about those. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
And people will find your channel who also like the same thing as you do. And
yeah.
you have your own audience.
But even I watch people like Chelsea Dolling reads and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love her videos, so I'll watch them. It doesn't matter that she's talking about romance. I just like watching it. So I feel like that's definitely accurate as well.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
You end up, you just watch videos because you like people's personality.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, sometimes I'll realize though that like there's some booktubers who have like just a completely different taste to me, like will love books that I hate. And if like if they're like not my friend, or I just like, I don't know, like I just don't interact with them or anything, I've just started like unsubscribing, because like I always felt like this like guilt about like being subscribed to like everybody and watching everybody's videos, which is obviously impossible, and there's like guilt about unsubscribing. But I've realized like if this person like has a completely different taste, like isn't my friend, like like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like I just like have started unsubscribing, which is literally only something I've done in the last couple of months.
That's
But it's
probably
like,
good, though.
mm,
Because it recommend you the videos that you want to watch, then, won't it? It won't recommend you stuff. that
yeah,
you
exactly. Yeah. And
It's
it's being so much better.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I think as well, obviously we like there's numbers, but we love it when people kind of watch our videos, engage and comment and like that's the best bit. So if you've got a subscriber who doesn't really do any of that, I guess it makes sense, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. Especially if like they're just like loving all of the books that like, because if they say, oh, I love this book, and they've loved all the ones I hate, then there's no point in me like listening to like their opinion, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might as well find other people who I agree with.
Subscribe for me now. Turn my devil off. Get rid of me.
Like my friends and stuff, or like, I don't know, people that I really love their personality, like that's different. Because then I'm just like, oh, I love watching their videos for whatever reason. That's different. But it's whenever like I don't really care about them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like the reality of it.
Yeah,
Like-
it's true, because you can't watch everyone, can you? You like you
Yeah.
really can't. And if you're not going to get anything from it, so if you're not getting something from the personality or like a recommendation or something that you even if you disagree with them, but they're raising some valid points, if it's not, if it doesn't invoke that entertainment value, I guess, then what's the point? Because that's the whole point of YouTube, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
entertainment, isn't it? It's a social thing, it's an entertainment thing. So yeah.
No one's gonna like everything. Do you know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
always people that don't like what you're doing, so like that's fine. I'd rather them just not subscribe to me.
Yeah,
I'd
literally.
rather have interactions and comments than subscriber count.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I like doing stuff like this as well, because you can actually see people that you know.
Yeah.
It's like people actually do.
No, like real time engagement's so good.
Yeah, because you just
Also, Wild Girls, that's really, I've not read it, but that is massive, isn't it, on BookTube?
I've been wanting to watch it, to read it for so long, but again, because it had so much hype and people were saying so many different things about it, I put it off. And then I saw India read it the other day, and I was just laughing. So I was like, "Oh, I need to read it, but like I don't want to."
India was reading it on the sprint yesterday. I feel like she was really enjoying it, and then I saw her Goodreads update this morning, and I was like,
Like,
I was like, what?
I think I heard like one person say something bad about that, like a couple of months ago about Wilder Girls. And even though so many people have said it's good, like that, whoever it was, like whatever BookTube I watched, like whatever BookTube video I watched, like that completely put that off, like put me off it. I had it on my wish list and everything like that. I took it off my wish list. Like whatever they'd said, I just thought like, I don't know, like that's just not for me, whatever it was. And it's just weird how like one person saying something negative about a book can like completely put you off it. And now I have it in my head, I'd hate Wilder Girls, which might not even be true.
I think I put it off. It's about like a disease or something, isn't it? And I think I picked it up just as the pandemic sort of started, and I was like, okay.
That was virus that takes over bodies that make your bodies like deform, but in like a fantastical way, I think.
Oh.
That's what I got from people talking about it, and then I brought it as one of like my videos of buying books outside my comfort zone. So it's still on my TBR, but now Inja's really didn't like it. I'm really like, do I just unhaul it? Because will I ever get around to it?
Yeah. By the way, just like while like, do you just want to do a sprint at 25 past?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We can do like 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's interesting.
That's
As
clever.
I said, the past few weeks, I've been following people who read more literary fiction, and it's made me really, really interested in picking up those books because they're separate to contemporary in a way, aren't they? And I feel like I would enjoy those a lot more. So I definitely want to branch out.
So that's weird you say that, because I love literary fiction, but I don't like contemporary.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, like literary fiction and historical fiction and literary fiction are literally my favourite, but I can't stand contemporary. I don't even think I've read one. I can't even think of one contemporary I've read in the last year, because it's the same with you. I was like, that's it, I've had enough, I'm not reading anymore.
I think that's what's always put me off, the fact that I was like, are they similar? I don't know, because they're real life things, aren't they? So I was a bit like, oh, I'm not sure. But yeah, like for your channel, I'm like listening to what you said. I'm like, oh, I want to pick up that book. I want to pick up this one, and I'm like, I've never read a book like this before, so I'm kind of scared to actually do it. Do you know what I mean? But
I guess when you think about the genre definitions, I guess they are similar, the definitions. But actually, I can't think of any book that I've read that's literary fiction that could possibly cross the line to contemporary. But actually, thinking of the definitions, they are similar. I've never thought about that before. But yeah, they're different.
Yeah.
I feel like literary fiction, though, is like so diverse with the kind of things they can be about, though. I think that's what's like really good about it, because I feel like people will be like, oh, like literary fiction like intimidates me and stuff like that. But obviously, like for example, like Hamnet, I thought like anybody could read that. Like it's such a good book. It's not that far off reading like a YA with like some kind of like serious topic. It's such a good book. So like, I don't know. I feel like literary fiction is one of those ones where you probably have to find like authors that you like and like topics kind of that you like, because it's so broad. Do you know what I mean?
So broad.
that is for a paperback.
It's what?
That Hamnet book is £20 for a paperback.
You might as well just buy the hardback.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's probably somebody selling the hardback. That was my favorite book of last year. It was like literally one of the best books I have ever read in my life. It's so good. I don't know if any of you have read it.
I read it.
Someone else read it recently though. I don't know if it was like Gavin or someone. I feel like I've heard about it very recently though.
It's so good, like so good. I love it so much.
But see, this wants me to make me pick it up now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's what I mean. Like, I'm subscribed to so many different channels. Sometimes it is nice because I get loads of stuff that I'll look up and probably will buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to, I literally in my last book I've done for my blog, I will buy a book based on someone's reaction rather than the plot. So like, you know, oh, I loved it. I'll just add it to my wish list and buy it if I fancy it. I don't have to know anything about it.
Oh,
But
please read it. It's so good. Like, it's actually so good.
I'm not
I
paying
feel like
20
for those books, like, everybody must at least appreciate that book. Like, if you read it, like, you will at least appreciate it for, like, what it is. It's just so good.
Yeah, the writing is just really beautiful as well, and the way that it handles like grief and stuff is so good. Like, I don't think I loved it as much as you, but I did really love it. Yeah.
I suppose I'm a massive Shakespeare fan, so
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a weirdo with that. But yeah, just wanna I'll like kind of go through the comments after a sprint, but just wanna like do a sprint before we never do.
Yeah. Like Rhiannon's on Friday where you're chatting for like 45 minutes to an hour.
We literally chatted for an hour before even doing one sprint. Carrying on, and someone literally commented like, "Are we actually sprinting?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't do it." So, and even after that as well, we chatted for like another 45 minutes. That was so sorry.
What would be like a half an hour from now?
Just put it like to the hour.
To the hour, yeah.
It's 27 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Might as well. I liked yours, Rachel, actually, doing the 45 minutes. Not that I read much, but it was really handy.
I'm just doing this from now on.
It's quite good because you chat for a decent amount and then you sprint for a decent amount.
Yeah.
That structure.
I'm doing this from now on so that I don't have to worry and stress about timers and banners and things.
It's easier, isn't it? It's definitely easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, are we starting to
I
read?
think we're reading. Yeah, I think so.
See you in a bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
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 No.
How did everybody do?
About 2 pages.
Yeah, I read about like 25 or something like that.
Nice.
I don't have too much to this. I should be able to finish it kind of soon.
That's good.
I got through 46 pages.
How many?
46.
That's good.
That's really good.
I did 37.
Really good as well.
Good.
I did 22, but this is like very.
That's good for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Considering I've just started it, I feel like once I get into it a bit more, it'll be easier to pick up. But yeah, it's a lot to take on.
The text's quite small in those as well, isn't it? 'Cause when I read The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, the text was tiny. Yeah.
Yeah. You did really well reading 20-ish pages of that.
I'm listening to the audiobook as well, so
Well, that's good.
yeah, definitely. But it's like a completely new sort of mythology.
Oh, really?
Like mythos or something by Stephen Fry. It's like that, but in this world, and it's like 10 times more complicated. So yeah, I'm enjoying it though.
Rhiannon, this comment of Hamnet.
Oh, that was a weird noise. I will check it out. Thank you.
Yeah, I think somebody had Helen had mentioned like Hamnet at the exact same time as I had said it. I think.
I want a book question,
Oh no.
I'm not though. I've already got like 5 books this month.
And when there's a good deal as well, you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, but that's my reasoning, and that's why I keep writing things. It's so bad. With this one, I'm like, oh, okay, so it's only £10 on Waterstones, so I'd be paying £20 on Amazon, so I might as well just buy it. But like, that is not the right mindset.
No, I get you.
Yeah, but what if you then want it later on and you're thinking, I should have got that deal? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're going to spend more money like later down the line, so you might as well just
Exactly. That's the way I always think.
spend more money later.
If I buy from Waterstones as well, I have to make it so that I get free shipping because I'm not paying for shipping. So I'll have to spend like £20 to get free
Or
shipping.
just do
Let's get another
pre-orders.
deal.
No, just do pre-orders. Like if you pre-order stuff, you still get the shipping. Like
Yeah.
just send you the book, and then you don't actually have to pay for your pre-order until it actually comes out.
Yeah, I did that for Empire of the Vampire and Malibu Rising. I pre-ordered both of them, and I got free shipping, even though they're released months apart.
Nice.
Honestly, there's always something that makes me buy things.
I need to read the books, to be fair. I haven't got around to it yet.
Oh, that is so pretty as well.
You should add Bear Town to your basket, Rhiannon.
In my Amazon basket, I've just saved it for later because if there's something in my basket, I will come to click on it. So I've saved it for later, so it is there.
But if you get it with Waterstones, then you'll get your free delivery.
We're just a bunch of enablers.
I'm like that normally, but like.
See, as Maggie O'Farrell, who wrote Hamnet, is as well. She's Irish, so you know, support Irish authors.
Any more recommendations, anyone? Whilst I'm working on this.
I just like going from what like India said here. Like, I actually love Hamlet. It's like one of my favorite plays. Like it's so good. So I'm just like, yeah. Sorry.
Might as well put that in your basket as well, Rhiannon.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I've never read it. I've read the children's version when I was quite young. I had like a whole thing of like Shakespeare for children. But I've
Oh, were they the ones that were illustrated, like by Quentin Blake?
I think so. There's like
I had those as well.
Oh my god, I didn't know those existed, but they sound good.
they were really good. I loved them. Loved them. But, yeah, I've never read the actual work.
Hamlet's one of probably, I'd say, the easiest ones to read. It's
Really?
if I was to suggest where to start, I would say either Macbeth or Hamlet. They're quite easy. I don't really see why you would like.
Yeah, I did Romeo and Juliet in school. And that was all right.
Yeah, I did Macbeth in school, and I can't remember anything.
I only remember the film with Leonardo DiCaprio, and I loved him, but oh my god, that was one of the worst films I've ever seen.
I've seen the start of that, and I had to turn it off. I was like, "This is awful." Like it was just like the mixture between the Shakespearean language and like it just didn't work. It just
And it was the actress as well. Like she made some faces, but it was like too much. Do you know what I mean? And instead of like looking stuff off, she'd be like, I was like,
Oh my god, I loved the Romeo and Juliet film. What years did you watch it in?
like year 10, 9, 10.
What year was that in the world?
Right, I finished my GCSEs in 2015, so about 2014, something like that.
I wonder if it's a thing then, because when I first watched it, it was like groundbreaking movie. In like, I'm sure it came out in like 1997 or something. So I think I would have seen it in 2000. So at the time, I think because it was like so different and so unusual, and it was groundbreaking, and no one's ever done Shakespeare like this, it was amazing. And then I've not watched it in years. It's probably not stood the test of time.
Yeah, and I suppose, I mean, I haven't watched it the whole way through, but I think it's like quite a usual thing for people to do, like modernize Shakespeare, but in like a modern setting. And I feel like because everybody's kind of gotten used to doing that, it's like then it's kind of being bettered on stage and stuff, and like at the Globe and everything. Like that's another level than like the Leonardo DiCaprio one. But like I've only seen the start, so I don't know what I would think of it now.
Yeah, it's the thing like you say though, that they speak normally, and then all of a sudden it's like this poetic thing, and you're like, sorry, what?
Yeah.
So weird.
Oh, I really want to watch it now. I literally haven't seen it for years. I bet it's awful.
I would rewatch it, but just at the time it was like, oh my god, what is this? Like,
I went to see.
Fairtown isn't on Tones, by the way, so I can't buy it.
Oh no. Sometimes.
Sorry.
I went to Crescent City. Crescent City always comes up on my lives, and it's just me constantly saying, "I need to read that."
So
Yeah, you
I
always
really want to buy it.
I need to. I don't even have it. I like see. This is going to be me. I'm going to be going on to Waterstones. Like, will I buy this?
I love it.
Oh, my comments are doing that really slow, weird thing again.
Oh no, is it?
Yeah.
It's kind of alright for us, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just read them from like the actual comment thing, but I'll just assume that you can see it. I don't have any like book box subscriptions at all.
No.
I really don't.
I do.
But,
Yeah, I
don't have enough money for that.
Yeah, that's the only issue. Like, you are paying like a bit of money for stuff you're not sure if you're going to use. Like, half the stuff in the boxes I probably won't use.
That's
But-
why I don't get them, because
Yeah,
like,
but I really
I don't really care about like the pin badges or the bookmarks or the
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
they're nice and stuff you don't see. Do you know what I mean? It is nice to get them, but then I look at them and I'm like, I've had a scarf that I've never worn. I've got a tea towel that is a tea towel, but like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Little like random things. And I
I
don't know.
think the good thing though is that you can use them in like Bookstagram pictures, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it would probably still be ugly anyway if I did that.
I just can't take nice photos, so I just don't.
I'm terrible.
Bookstagram for is to update my stories. Like, I don't post on my feed. I can't be bothered.
Every now and again, I'm like, oh, I'll post a photo, and then I'm like, I see like India's feet, and I'm like, oh my god, that is
I know.
Yes, that is literally actually me. Like India's pictures are actually so nice, and I'm like, please teach me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have them
Cool.
that no, they're just like book covers in front of my bookshelf. Like, hey,
That is actually me.
Yeah. Oh dear.
I was tempted by a book box, but I was like, I want the random book to be a surprise each month, but I don't want all the stuff like you've just said, because I won't use it and it would be a waste basically. So I was saying this to Danny, and he was just like, right, well, I'll just buy you a random book each month. So what he does now every month, in fact, I should be due one soon. He literally goes, picks a book, wraps it, and then puts it in the door like, something's been posted, and I get it.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
that is so
That is so sweet.
There's only been 2 so far. I only started in December. I'm trying to think. The first one was they are super random what he buys though. It's like the first one was The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I want to read that.
It was
I
good.
wanna
It's quite good. And the second one was Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. So they're a little bit more sci-fi, kind of what you probably would think a boy would want to read, because he's choosing them. I can't imagine him going to a shelf and be like, "Oh, a Court of Thorns and Roses. That's a good one."
I think with book boxes, it is a bit hit or miss as well, because I was subscribed to Owl Crate, but there were so many books in there that I got, and I was like, I'm not interested in this at all. And I'd spent
Really?
£40 for a box, and I wasn't even liking what was there. So
Yeah.
I think I know it's mainly fantasy, so I'd be okay. But again, there's some like, sci-fi books that I get where I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have so much FOMO seeing all the nice editions.
I think
that's it, isn't it? They pull you in that way.
Yeah.
when the world's normal again, I think my boyfriend really wants to just go into Waterstones with my money and buy me books without me knowing what they are. So
That would
we'll
be
see
so cool.
when we can do that. But months and months away, but that is a video idea if you want to do, because he is like, every time I do like a book talking video, he's like, I really want to buy you books. I'm like, well, yeah, it's not the same. Like, no one will watch you buy books, I don't think. But if we went into like Waterstones and we had like a camera follow him around, like picking books, I thought that'd be more interesting. We're gonna wait for the books.
That's such a good video idea.
Yeah, I was saying to Tom the other day that like I want him to do that, because like he knows what I like and he knows what I read, and he always comes in and he looks at these and he's like, wow, okay, these look cool, and I'm like, yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
So I really want to see what he'd actually pick up.
Same.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know whether to just give him money and send him in, or to follow him around, because I could tell him then like, maybe don't pick that up because I won't read it and it's a waste of money.
Money, yeah, that's the same. I would probably end up filming him and he would just pick up the books. But then if he picked up one that I know I wouldn't read, like, yeah, it's a waste of money. Yeah, I think
You should do a trial. Do one a month for like 2 or 3 months. See how it goes, and then let him loose into the Waterstones.
very
My
true.
boyfriend's not that nice, Joe.
Did you see?
Be like that.
Did you see Emma from Drinking by My Shelf? She did a video called like her husband like chose her cozy reading night.
Oh
And-
my god, yes.
He sets it up so he buys her the book, he gives her an outfit to wear. Like,
Nah,
Aww.
drink.
Aw.
I want to do it with my boyfriend, but I'm like, I want to do it when it's like actually autumnish, because I feel like that's a cozier time.
Yeah.
Actually, like, I've told him, I'm like, this will be your like debut on my YouTube channel. Like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm giving him like loads of time to get used to the idea.
That's
That's
yeah,
cute.
I really like that video. That's a good video.
Yeah, I literally loved it so much.
When was it? Was it a while ago?
It was quite a while ago.
It was like last year, but towards the end of last year, I think.
Like maybe like October.
Yeah. But it was such a cute idea. Like, I loved it so much.
That is
It's
really
a really good job as well.
Yeah.
I like watching stuff like that. It's so sweet.
But don't go thinking that Danny's doing it for me because he's sweet. He's doing it because he doesn't want me to spend £40 on a box. He's like, no, I'll spend £7. So we're actually saving £33. That's the only reason he's doing it, to save money.
But when I stopped with Owl Crate, I was like, Tom said to me, "Are you stopping?" And I went, "I am with Owl Crate because I'm paying like the same amount of money I would be for the box as I am shipping. So like I was paying like crazy, really." And I was like, "But I'm doing Fairy Loot now, and it's like £30, so it's cheaper."
Justifications.
Yeah, I see. This is why I'm bad. Like,
Ooh, almost there.
I've got like I got halfway through Dracula ages ago, but like I just stopped for like no reason. But I really want to like read it because it was like quite good. So yeah, that's I do want to read it at some point. But that's like so good, so close.
Always
Oh,
good DNF though. If you're not enjoying a book, there's no point reading.
There's no point in reading it.
I did it last night. I gave the book like 2 stars. I've just finished it today. But like I'd read, I think it was like almost 300 pages in one day. And I was like, I can't DNF it having spent that much time reading it. So I powered through today and now I was like, I'm just so angry now. Like, why did I read that?
Yeah, you could have read a book that you really enjoyed instead.
Yeah. I was determined to read it because it was like a pull-a-thon book, even though I failed pull-a-thon anyway.
That was the same with my readathon that I did. I read it because I wanted to complete a book for the readathon, and I gave it like a 2 stars. And I was like, at the same time, I'm glad I finished a book for the readathon, but like, why did I put myself through that pain?
I know.
Crescent City again. I think it's a sign.
Yeah, literally. Oh my god. I just need to read it so that I'm not just like on these lives saying I need to read that constantly for everything.
This is me. I have so many books and I'm just like, I can't write in it because that will ruin it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit there and look pretty.
Whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think like a lot of people would enjoy it now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I didn't like reading because school forced me to read, and I didn't want to do what the school told me, so I just didn't read for years and years and years. And then as soon as I finished school, I was like, "Oh, reading's cool. I'm gonna read."
I was gonna say I literally studied of my cement for, honest to God, about 3 years because we did it, and then they were like, "Oh, the marks were a bit low, so we need everyone to reset it." So we reset it like 2 or 3 times. And by the end, you know, when you're just like banging your head against the wall, being like, I'm not even studying for this now because this is really ridiculous. Oh my god, like it was the worst time and it was awful.
It's such a small book as well. Like, how did that happen?
I don't know, but it was a time. Read Heroes. Has anyone read Heroes? No. Anyway, that's another short book because we'd spent like 2-3 years on Of Mice and Men. This other book we were meant to have read, we literally read, I think, like not even halfway. And she was just like, "Okay, try and read it by yourselves and just go with it." And I was like,
oh my god.
Oh, I used to love, like, I know everyone hate when they talk back, they hated reading in school, but I actually loved it. And I don't know why. We used to have the best English teacher ever. We used to sit and we'd all take it in turns to read out loud. And like, that was it for a 2 hour, because we had double sessions when I was in school. For 2 hours, we would sit and read. When, like, compared to like a maths lesson when I didn't have a clue what was going on, I just loved it.
I always felt bad for some people though, because like, you know, when some people struggle to read, especially out loud in front of people, and you'd be sat there thinking, "Oh bless, like just stop." Do you know what I mean? Like, the teacher, you know that they're not confident, like move along. That's the one thing I was like, oh god, I hate this.
I think trying to get kids out of their comfort zone, but forcing them to do something that makes them really anxious should happen. I absolutely hate it out loud.
Yeah, I think that's why I loved it though, because I think our teacher was like, "Do you want, like, Joanna, it's your turn?" And if I was like, "No," he'd be like, "Okay, who's next?" Like, it wasn't like a you have to do it kind of thing. And then eventually, I always remember it got to the point where people who at the beginning of the year were like, "No, I don't want to read." Eventually, they were like, "Yeah, okay, I'll give it a go," because they were never forced to.
Yeah.
So I think I might have just been lucky with a really good English teacher.
Yeah.
Having a good teacher helps so much though.
Yeah,
I always had really good teachers, and I just loved it so much. Like as soon as I think it was like in the first year of my GCSEs, we got this this teacher, and he was just, I loved him so much, and I just had like and it completely changed how I viewed English, because I hated my teachers that I'd ever had like before. And then after that, I just kept having really good teachers like the whole way up, and it just like I loved it so much. It was like always like my favorite like class and everything like that. So I think it just depends on the teacher, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
that the subjects that you liked back in school were based on the teachers, and therefore the teachers kind of shaped what you then enjoyed and continued on with.
Yeah.
It's so true. I didn't think about it. It's so nice to say.
Like, they
when you think about it.
to who you are, because I didn't really like school. I wasn't very academic, so I went to college to do media because I was more creative. And my teachers there were absolutely incredible, and that's why I continued being creative.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like any of my academic teachers, but if I did like my academic teachers, like where would I be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's what got me down as well, because I was really good at maths, and then I had a really good teacher for like my first year, and then they changed the sets around, and I honestly had the worst teacher ever. He'd like call you out and like, you know, if you didn't know the answer, he'd just sit down and stare at you and be like, no, you know, we're waiting for you to give us the answer. You've got to give us it. And I think it just caused me so much stress. Whenever I think about maths now, I literally can't do it. Like, you could ask me now, what's the time in half an hour? And I'd be like, oh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I hate it. So, like, I have to teach maths now to kids. And I just, honestly, it's like affected me so bad, and it's horrible. Yeah. And I just wish that I would have had like just a better teacher, because I feel like I would have done so much better.
Yeah.
It's so weird how one thing can like completely change you.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Sorry, I always feel like I go on massive ramble.
No, literally, I was just thinking like I'm exactly the same, because like even basic maths gives me like extreme anxiety now. Like anything to do with like cash, especially, for some reason, like it gives me extreme anxiety, like really basic maths. And I don't know what that was, but now I'm thinking like, I mean, I did have some really like horrible maths teachers, like kind of like around GCSE and like before that. So that's honestly probably part of the reason, because like even like whenever like I was like 17 and stuff, like getting like a first like part-time job, like I like worked in KFC or something, but see, like doing like the cash, I used to be like under like severe stress. Like I mean, like severe stress to the point where I was like doing it wrong, even though like the numbers were right in front of me, because I was constantly like kind of I constantly second guess myself with like even like really basic maths. So like it makes me wonder. Like I wonder, is it something to do with like what teachers I had?
Yeah, I think it definitely is.
Yeah, it must be.
I think it's also like, for me, I did maths at A level, and that's where it sort of started to go like downhill for me, because I think I ended up in like, I don't know how, but I ended up in a class with all like the Oxbridge applicants, and they were all like really clever and, you know, doing maths at uni, and I was just there in the corner like, I don't understand this, but I just felt like the teacher was just going with the majority of the class.
Yeah.
I feel like I could have like got it, but it was just, I felt a bit intimidated by like literally everyone else, and just was like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's always
So-
yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say,
This
to
is
comment, if you don't like Baz Luhrmann, then you definitely won't write Romeo and Juliet. Because Baz Luhrmann's like Moulin Rouge, Australia, Romeo and Juliet, all the weird films. I wanted to do my dissertation on Baz Luhrmann. I did in the end.
I did a on Walt Disney.
Did you? Nice.
That's cool.
Oh my god, I would love that.
That's such a good one.
Because I did graphic design at uni, we could basically pick any sort of avenue within graphic design to talk about in our dissertation. So I did why Walt Disney ended up superior against his other like competitors of animation in the 1920s. So basically, I focused on animation and stuff. And I just had a great old time just researching Walt Disney.
That's so good.
That is really good.
I would love that. I was meant to do mine on Tolkien and like how he incorporated the Welsh language into his works. I think I've said this before, like that is like a PhD sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a nice little dissertation. It's intense. And I like started looking into it and I was like, no. I love it.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea that. I did it because I did a film degree. I did a film production degree. So my dissertation was the changing representation of women in British cinema.
I honestly think that like doing a dissertation on a topic you're passionate about is so like good, because I did my undergraduate dissertation on the myth of Persephone, and I just loved it so much, because I just like researching it wasn't a chore. Like I didn't hate it. I actually really liked what I was researching, so it made me want to do it more. And it is such an underrated feeling. Like,
Yeah, it is.
I had that as well because oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's me chatting again. I was just going to say, how have you all managed to like write such good dissertations? Like,
my dissertation lecturer was like, "Why are you doing branding when your love is Disney?" And I was like, "I didn't realize I could write about Disney." And he goes, "Write about Disney. Half your dissertation is already in your head. Like, just write about Disney." I was like, "Okay, you're telling me to write about Disney. I'll write about Disney."
yeah, you don't need to tell me twice.
So exactly. So I had to like basically start from scratch because I'd already bought books and stuff for like marketing and branding and all that sort of stuff. And I started researching and writing my proposal. But I literally started from scratch as soon as he was like, just do Disney. And I was like, okay, I'll do Disney.
I'm not being funny though. How boring would it have been for you to sit down and read a whole ton of books on marketing and stuff?
Yeah.
You got to do it on Disney instead. That is just
that's so cool.
But if
Yeah,
it wasn't,
definitely.
I had 2 dissertation lecturers in my final year. One kind of left and was like, I'm too busy with other stuff because he was the head of the course as well. And he was trying to balance too much. So they brought someone else in to help us with our dissertation. And it was the second dude that was like, you do Disney. Because if the second dude hadn't come in, I think I would have done it on the other one. Which is once again, teachers directing you. And just like,
That's really good.
I was going to say, it's such a big chunk of like that year as well, isn't it? Like you said, you definitely need to be enjoying it because otherwise it's just going to be
exactly.
not worth it at all. Oh, I'm so jealous of
Disney animation.
That would be my favourite thing. Oh,
You know, we were talking about good teachers. Thinking back now, my lecturer for my dissertation was an absolute awful lecturer. So, because I did film production, it was literally like 98% male. So there was like 3 girls. There was 3 girls in my class, and all the lecturers were male as well, and the presses and that stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do the change representation of women in British cinema from like 1960s to now. He was just like, do you really want to do that? And I was just like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And he always never had the time for me. Like when I gave him my dissertation, like you had reviews and stuff like every month or 6 weeks or whatever it was. And he was just like, oh yeah, well, what about this angle or this angle or doing this? And I just think, you know, and then the results came out at the end. And I actually quite, I don't know what the word is now, but I got a 2-1, and I was like, I've definitely got first. But all like the unpopular kids in the class, we all got lower than what we thought, and then all the popular lads at the top, they all got firsts. And we were like, right, we're all going to go and like
appeal.
That's it. I should appeal. We're all going to appeal. So we all appealed, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you can appeal, but if it's found that first off, you won't be able to graduate with your class because graduation's in 3 weeks, so that means you might not graduate. You won't graduate with your class. You have to graduate separately if you do appeal. And if you appeal, you can get a lower mark too." I was like, "Yeah, but I wouldn't get a lower mark because I know for a fact that I've got 2-1 or higher." And they're like, "So you just have to decide if you want to graduate with your peers or not." And I'm like, "Well, obviously I'm going to graduate with everybody else. What a ridiculous rule!" So we didn't appeal because we just wanted to graduate.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
See, at my uni, like we get our results, but then our graduation's in October. So I submitted, like, for my master's, I submitted my dissertation in September. And because it would have been such a short turnaround between my dissertation being submitted and graduation, it didn't happen anyway because of COVID. But like, I actually graduate the year after I finish my master's. I graduate, like, so I graduated from my PGCE before I graduate from my master's, even though I did that before.
I haven't even graduated because my uni didn't want to graduate. They didn't want to host a graduation ceremony because I went to like an international uni, even though it's based in London. It was like internationally run, so it was a French course, but the UK basically took it on as their own. So it's so confusing. So we weren't even graded. I don't even know if I've got a first or 2-1. I just know I have a distinction, and it's very strange.
Yeah, that is strange.
Yeah, because there's only 7 people. We're not going to host a graduation for you. So I haven't had a graduation. I technically haven't graduated from uni, but I have my grade. But I don't know what my grade is because it's like a French-run system. So that's like I was on uni. I literally done uni, but I just feel like I haven't got anything out of it. But
yeah, that's like me because I was going to graduate in July. Obviously, that was like bang in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
So now they're like, oh, it's postponed for this year. but I'm still thinking that's not going to happen. And now it's been a year since I finished uni. I don't really want to be like getting dressed up in there. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously we want to, but like, it's like been a year. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I think I'd be the only one who turned up at my graduation because I was the only one based out of London. Like one of my best friends was from Monaco, Dubai, Swedish, like Jamaican. Yeah, it was like a whole. I was the only person who was fully English, and like out of 7 people, 5 being girls.
just
So
knew
it'd just be me at my graduation.
that. Oh my gosh, it's so strange, isn't it? And that's so cool though. Sorry, that was a tangent.
No, I'm just thinking. I thought they did do Book of the Month. Is that Book of the Month?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a US thing.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame because that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the main turn-offs for me. Like, it's just a load of stuff they're sending out that's eventually just going to end up in landfill.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got no use.
Yeah, like I've got a bag holder that I don't think I will ever use. And it's literally like a thing you clip onto the table. And I'm like, well, I'll just put my bag on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
For 3
some
months when the book is
that's in them is nice, but sometimes it's just like, I'm not gonna use this. But then like when I don't get it, I see something I want in it, and I'm like, now I've got to put it down on Depop, and someone's gonna be selling it for an extortionate price.
Yeah.
The Owl Crate version of Addie LaRue is currently on eBay for £120. That's what someone's selling it for, and it annoys me so
People
much.
do that. I don't understand.
It's crazy.
Fair enough if you want to sell it on for how much you paid for it. So however much the book box is, like 40 quid, that's fine. I would understand that. But trying to rip people off, I just like people who buy concert tickets and then sell them for like 5 times the price. It's like that. It's like, why?
It's just like, what's the point? Like, I think I'd only ever, like, if I didn't like a box, but I had to get it, I'd sell it for the cost of the box.
Yeah.
But, like, what's the point in just being extortionate?
I don't think I would ever buy a book from someone that was over about £40. Because, like you say, there's no way that they bought it for that price. And I don't want to be giving, like, 50 quid of my money to someone. You know what I mean? It's like, weird thing. Like, I'd rather buy a special edition from like Juniper Books or something. Do you know what I mean? It's just, oh yeah, I hate that so much.
Especially,
which book was on eBay? I'm looking for it now. Which one was it?
It's the Owl Crate edition of Addie LaRue. Like, it's the like American kind of cover with there's like a diamond shape on the back.
I was on your live, Rachel, we were talking about this. Black Pearls do the US edition. Because I've never seen it and I really want to buy it, but because I've got 2 copies already, I thought I should do it.
No, it's so pretty, but like the Owl Crate version comes without the dust jacket, so it's like foiled onto the cover itself, and it's got a ribbon that goes like through. Like,
No, it is pretty. I remember when I saw it, I thought it's really nice, but I have to pay 120 for it.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Sorry, I just saw a comment from Helen. Like the worst I saw was someone trying to sell the Poppy War Illuminate trilogy for $750.
Yeah, that's actually.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, I bought the box, but like, even if I'd got it and for some reason decided I didn't want it, I never would have sold it for that. Like, what's the point?
What was that? Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah. That is ridiculous. It's like, do you remember when people were selling like the Nevernight books, or like the first book in the UK hardcovers, and they were selling it for like £500? I was like, how can you sell a book?
No,
it's absolutely ridiculous.
Does everybody want to sprint a 25 too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna make this my last sprint now because I am falling asleep. I know it's only half. Don't call me a granny, but
I'll probably be the same as well, to be honest.
Do you want to do a half an hour, or do you want to do like 25 minutes?
I can do a half hour.
Okay.
It's up to. I'm not the.
Yeah, I'm happy with that too.
I need to read whatever.
I'm still trying to find this version
I'll see if I can screenshot it because it's in like I recently viewed.
It's just madness. Oh, you know what? I found it ended. £120.
Did someone buy it?
It says ended, but does that mean someone's bought it?
That doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean somebody bought it, I don't think.
I think the bidding time just ran out.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, someone's selling the Illumicrate version for £70 on Depop.
You seen
Someone's selling it for £90 on eBay.
I really don't get it. Like, I rarely even buy new books. Like, I buy secondhand. I'll buy from World of Books. I'll buy from eBay. I rarely buy new unless I'm pre-ordering, really. And I just don't, it's madness to me.
Yeah, I was going to say that the only thing I don't like about World of Books is like you think you're getting one version and then like a completely different one rocks up and you're like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that does sometimes happen, doesn't it? Yeah.
But like you say, like it's so much easier sometimes than trying to find new covers and editions. There's one for $40, but I don't know if you would send it.
Does everybody want a friend?
I saw you just wait until it was silent to say.
I knew you were watching me. I was like, when can I just say like that's print line?
Just shout at us.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I'm so bad. I will just keep looking in these lives. So yeah, shut me
Yeah.
up.
Okay. Yeah.
Stop talking.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I'm actually going to fall asleep. Like,
I'm
it's so bad. Like, I read like 10 pages because I was like, my eyes are literally, like, I look like I'm crying. Like, my eyes are actually burning. Like, and you know, if your legs stop getting sore because your legs are falling asleep and everything, like, that's how bad it is.
Is that a sign then, is it?
It's actually one of the most tired I've ever been. It's so bad.
I had to switch to an audiobook, otherwise I would have actually fallen asleep. So that's why my camera was off. I was just staring into the abyss like this. Fall asleep.
Everybody would have thought that you were like contemplating life if you had
I
to take that off.
I was, to be honest. I was like,
What about everybody else? So
I read 40 pages. So yeah,
nice.
that's so good.
I read 38 pages.
nice. I read about the same as the first time. It's like 20
Fair.
Consistent.
Yeah, I think I was about 25 as well, but I've done a steady 50 tonight, which is good. And I'm
Nice.
like exactly halfway through now.
Yay!
Progress!
Once you're halfway through, you can kind of be like, no, this is actually going to happen. Like, I'm going to finish this at some point eventually.
Definitely. I think it got to that point where I'm like, right, this is it. This is going to happen.
Yeah.
Every time you're on a ride, you're like, I'm reading the Poppy Walk.
I know one day I'll finish it.
Are you enjoying it though?
Which mug is that today?
Oh, Stuttgart today.
Oh, that's so nice. I really like that one.
Germany. It's really bright. It's really bright, so I can't show you properly. But yeah, so it's like a proper city built place.
Very
I
nice.
really like that one.
It's cute. The funny thing is, like, the only things we've actually got like a full box. So I actually want to swap the box we've got in the cupboard with the box that's in a box because we just have room for them. So I can get all the ones I've not used for ages out. I can hardly remember what's in there.
Good idea. Get some new ones in.
Yeah, exactly.
I think this comment is mental.
I know.
That's crazy.
Surely people aren't buying these.
Yeah, I know. See, that's the
Can't
thing.
be.
It's insane.
Mm.
Watch them probably have the nerve to ask you for like £20 postage as well.
Also 20 quid between friends.
Exactly.
I feel like it's literally so easy to lose time on TikTok. Like, it's another universe or something because like it just goes so fast.
Yeah.
I don't really get TikTok. Like,
I downloaded it.
I downloaded it the day after the first lockdown was announced because I was like, oh, I'll just waste my time on here. And then I went on it that day and then never again, really. But I've been hearing a lot about BookTok recently.
Oh yeah.
But then again, like I do them all on Instagram anyway, so like I don't feel the need to download the app because I'd be like you because I was obsessed with like Vine and stuff, and I'd spend like all day on it, and now I'm like.
Apparently,
yeah,
TikTok has a really, really good algorithm though. So if you started a book talk, I feel like your followers and your interactions and stuff would be really good because apparently TikTok algorithm is amazing.
I really want to start book talk, but I just can't be bothered. Like, there's enough that I have to as well. Like, it's so much, like too much.
Like the reels on Instagram. Like I really want to do some, but like can't be asked.
I actually did one today for the first time, and it was so much effort.
I posted one today as well because I was like, I haven't done it in ages.
Yeah, it's so hard. I thought it'd be really easy, just like push my phone into my bullet journal, bring it out, and display a different page. But it looked so bad. I was like, I'm never doing it. It's so difficult.
It is really hard.
Yeah, I always do people's, and they're so good. You know, like Ashley's from through Pictures.
Yeah.
God, I love those. But like, I just couldn't come up with anything like new or different. So I'm like, I'll just live through them. It's fine.
Yeah,
I think I just don't have that many like aesthetically nice things.
Yeah, see, that's the problem with me. Like, my room is just like not nice enough. Like it's so uni looking. It's just such a uni student house that it's just not aesthetic in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I swear everyone has like so many nice blankets and like other things that they can put in the background, and I'm just like, I just don't have the room to store all this stuff.
And I wouldn't want to buy extra stuff just to decorate pictures. So I don't use candles. So I don't see the point in buying candles if I'm just going to use them for like photos and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just end up having anything, hence the pictures in front of bookcases, because that's all I need.
I was gonna say I can't have nice things because I have a cat and I have a puppy, so like my house is just chaotic. So
yeah. Fair enough. They're worth it though.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. But that's the thing, like I haven't put effort into making the house look nice because I'm like, oh, I'm just spending money on the pets and that. So like if I ever show anything like inside my house, it looks awful. So that's why I'm always in this room with these vines. Like, no.
I was also thinking there as well about like TikTok and like the Instagram reels and everything. People who have really nice aesthetic ones and everything like that, and like also have like a lot of people also have like a blog where they'll post all the time, and then they also have their booktube, and then they also have like normal bookstagram, TikTok, and they read and they have a full-time job, and I'm like, how do these people like? And you'll always see them on social media too. So it's just like I don't physically understand. Like how much do you sleep? Like it must be zero. Like I really don't understand.
You know when Books Alala does like her like really ambitious reading vlog, and she goes, I can't have all three. So I either have sleep, I either read, or I either vlog. Like I can't do all three at once. So two things have to suffer out of the three every time I do something like this, because she just doesn't have the mental capacity to do all three at once. So she either sleeps a lot, or she either reads, or she either vlogs. So she can't do all three. And I'm just like, I relate to that so much. If you want to read, you can't sleep and vlog. If you want to vlog, you can't really.
But again, like she's a mum as well. Do you know what I mean? So like, how does she fit it in? Because her content is like amazing.
I know.
Like, come on. And I'm like, she's got a full-time job. She's a mum.
I know.
All of this. It's just so
It's insane.
And here I am like stressing about things where I've got most of the day free except for like a few assignments, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I'm panicking about this weekend because we've got the live, haven't we, Rhiannon, on Saturday too. And then I have a Zoom party, a birthday party, which I need to make a costume for at night time.
Live.
Pardon?
I'm on my live and
yeah, I'm dressing up as Legolas. Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be cool.
So at some point, but this week, obviously, so I work 9 till 5:30, right? So that's that time gone. I need to make my Legolas costume. So I need to make like a brooch, a fellowship brooch, and a oh my god, bow and arrow. I was like, what's it called? Then my hair will be fine, that'll be easy to do. So I need to do that at some point. I need to edit my video tomorrow night as well to post on Thursday. Then on Saturday, when I normally film for next week, I'm on your live. Then I've got the Zoom party. And then Sunday, I'm probably going to be hungover. So I'm like, when am I going to do all this stuff?
I was going to say, if you're stressed or anything, don't worry about being on the live. Like, it's fine.
No, but I want to. That's the thing. I'm like, I want to do it. I'm going to do it all. I'm going to do it all. Because I need to read this. I need to do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to read it.
Like, I'm trying to find time now, isn't it? Like, I wanted to do this live, but I was thinking about it like 2 weeks in advance, thinking, where are people going to be doing their live? And then I know Jodie does some at night, so I was like, and there's no way I'm going to do sprints at night because no one will show up. So it ended up being that time. So yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I like afternoon ones. I feel like I read a lot more in afternoon ones, and then they don't have the pressure of ending before like a certain late time. You can just go.
Exactly. Yeah, because you can go on till 1 then, can't you? Or you can finish earlier and people can still have their night.
Yeah, exactly.
For the past 2 weeks, like I've barely had a night where I've like sat down with Tom and like watched a film or a series. Do you know what I mean? And we used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Not that I'm complaining because I love reading sprints, but like it takes up like what we've been on here 2 hours and a quarter, and it's just gone. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Is it? So I think
it was so good.
definitely.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I definitely haven't had like barely any time to relax like recently. Like I love the sprints, like as you were like saying, I love the sprints, but then you're kind of like, you also want the evenings to like read or like, as we were saying, like edit or like do other things like that. And although you're kind of doing that on the sprints, like it's also like tiring and stuff like that. So I feel like it's really, really exhausting, like doing the sprints. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
well,
feel
it was really nice was it last night you did yours, Rachel? Can't even remember. Yeah, because it was nice like not being on a live as well. You know what I mean? Sometimes it is because I wasn't reading, let's be honest. I was like running after my puppy, making tea or whatever. But at least like like you still have people there and you can read if you can.
Yeah, it's like your company for the evening. Yeah.
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 But there's no pressure to actually sit here and like be present.
Yeah, I said it in last week's reading vlog where I was like, I think it was Tuesday night, I was like, oh my god, I don't have a sprint tonight, and I feel so like relaxed because I didn't have that, like, because even though this is like chill, I'm still socializing and I'm such an introverted person that it takes all my energy. So when I come
I'm exactly the same.
I'm just like, oh, I can breathe. I love doing it, but I'm also just like, okay, I have my own time back again. So I'm doing 3 lives this week. I did mine yesterday, you'll see now, and I'm doing one on India's channel on Thursday. And I'm just like, next week I can't book any in because I just think I need to like recharge. I think that's why I'm so tired at like 8:30, because I've just like exhausted all my energy, and I'm just like, I need to like take some back from myself.
I get exactly what you mean.
Well, I was thinking because Joe and I started doing, didn't we? And then we've just not done one for like a few weeks, and now we're like, do we carry on? Like so many people are doing them. You're like, I don't want to take up too much time. Obviously, people are doing them anyway, so we could just join in the chat. It's such a weird one, but like I love doing it, and I love having people on my channel. Obviously, it's really nice. But yeah, sometimes it is so nice just to sit down. I think I can stay in my pajamas. I can look an absolute mess, and I can still read.
Yeah, that's it as well. Like when you film and stuff, like I've stopped doing it now for live, obviously looking at my face. But when you film and everything, you've got to put your makeup on, you've got to do all of that getting ready and set up, and then you're like, with all the stuff you have to do, what about things like exercise and like walking my dogs and just day-to-day life? And then Danny's like, you never have any time with me now. And I'm like, for God's sake.
That's what literally like this comment is like.
I've just seen that.
I think because Tom's always watching the puppy downstairs and he wants to be on his Xbox with his friends, but I'm like, well, I'm on a live, it's different. I can hear him just shouting like, Kiwi, stop doing that. Like, oh, this is nice.
My boyfriend watches the lives that I'm on, so like he's in the background and just watch. Talking about his Switch, he was messaging me about it.
Yeah, my boyfriend used to do that, like whenever I started doing them, and then he's kind of like, oh, you don't need my support anymore, you're used to it. Like, just
my
like,
boyfriend joined my first ever one for the support, and then he joined yesterday and actually started reading. He started his reread of Ready Player One, and then he was like, I'll join tonight as well, and then he realised that Man U were playing, so he was like, sorry. Fair enough.
I was gonna say Tom's not supported like that. He's just like, you do your thing, I'm doing my thing, cool. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. To be honest, I'd feel so weird if he popped up in this chat because he would be like clueless. Like, he's not bothered. You know what I mean? So like, I'm like, no, just stay over there, Tom.
See, my boyfriend doesn't really have a YouTube account. Like, he doesn't actually log in. He just watches like on. So he never comments, but he'll text me random things like, I can see you. And just like, he tries to make
is he
me
watching
laugh.
this?
He was earlier. I don't know if he is now because he hasn't messaged me in a while, but like doing it while he's doing other things on his computer, like gaming and stuff.
Yeah.
I asked Tom the other day, I literally went, are you even subscribed to me? Because like obviously he's YouTube. Have you even like subscribed? And he was like, yeah, I am subscribed. And I was like, I don't actually believe you. And he like showed me, and I was like, okay, that's nice.
I told my friend at work today that I was close to like a different milestone, and she was like, oh my god, I'm so proud of you, like. And then I told her about my new vlog camera, and she was like, I can't wait to see the quality content now. And I was like, you actually watch? She's like, yeah, of course. I'm like, oh.
It's so nice when that happens in like the real world. Like my friend messaged me because I did a Christmas vlog. So I don't do vlogs very often, but I did a Christmas vlog. And she just messaged me out the blue, like outside of our friend WhatsApp group. She was just like, I really liked your Christmas vlog. It's been one of my favourite videos. And I was just like,
I keep everything separate. Like my cousin found my videos through Twitter the other week. She messaged me and she was like, "Oh my god, I've just watched the bookshelf tour." And I was like, "Oh god."
I made the mistake of telling my parents I had a book Instagram account because they follow me on my personal one, which is fine because that's my personal one. I don't really care. But I wanted to keep kind of like my family away from my book Instagram. And I completely went, "Oh, I'm really close to a milestone on my book Instagram account." The next thing I know, my dad's followed me. And I'm just like...
Oh my gosh. That's I've kept it separate. Like people from school and that, I don't want them coming up in my channel. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I'd rather start off clean slate and just carry on. And then if I feel confident enough further along the line, I'm like,
yeah. I kind of like pick and choose who I tell. Like,
yeah, I'm the same as you, Rebecca.
If they think like, if it's somebody who I think is going to find it cringy, then I'm like, no way, no way.
Oh no, yeah, I'm the same as you. I only pick select people, like my absolute best friends, and my family know because my dad, mainly because at the beginning of the first lockdown, I did some live shows on my channel, but quizzes, and my dad used to join the quizzes.
Oh,
Cute.
I love that. I was gonna say, I don't think my mum even knows. I know my sister knows, but I don't think like literally anyone from my family knows except my cousin and my sister, which is kind of nice. But then I feel like I do want to be able to talk about it because obviously now, like you said, I've reached a milestone and I'm, oh my god, that's crazy. But it's just me here being like, woo.
Yeah, I think it's like something that you get used to as well. Like telling your family and friends, like the more you do it, the you're more like, yeah, whatever. Like
I said to my mum, I was like, "I'm going to start a booktube channel. Should I do it?" And she was like, "Yeah, go for it." So my parents have known from like before I even wanted to upload. Because my first video was going to be a June TBR, and then the upload of it was going to collide straight with the Black Lives Matter movement. And I was like, "This is the wrong time to do it." So I left it a few weeks, and then I uploaded a booktube newbie tag, and no one's ever seen the June TBR video from last year. So yeah, my parents knew from the write-off because I was like, do I do it? Do I not? Do I do it? Do I not? And they were like, just go for it. And the only video they've watched of mine is the booktube newbie tag because I like being like, is this okay to upload? Yeah, I don't think they actually watch, but they are subscribed. My parents made a YouTube channel, YouTube account just to subscribe to my channel.
Oh, that's so cute. My mum had not a clue how to use YouTube.
My boyfriend's parents watch my videos. Because so on my channel I do like some reviews and I'll bake something and talk about the book. Like I'll bake something that reminded me of the book or like something based on the book. And for Christmas, my boyfriend's mum bought me an apron that says Books as Bakes because that's what I call the series. So now I've got an apron I can wear like when I do my next video for it.
Oh, I love that.
That's lovely. Yeah, they know that I like to read, so like Christmas and that, I get books off of them. But I don't think they know about this. I hope not, anyway, because I'm like cringy. Oh, no, thank you.
I mean, I've had to hide my name and everything because I really don't want anybody at work finding my channel. That's the only thing.
I'm so open about it. A lot of people at my work know about it, and I don't really care. Because I know that it's not their sort of thing. Because the reason I started a channel is because no one in my real life really reads. So it's not. So when I found out my friend from work actually watches my videos, even though she doesn't really read, I was like, oh, that's so sweet because she is one of my best friends as well. But I know that everyone else who knows about my channel at work doesn't read, so they wouldn't watch my videos because they wouldn't care. So they know about it, but it's not like I need to look out for them in the comments because I know they wouldn't watch.
No, I don't know. Mine, they wouldn't watch mine either, but they would definitely. It's the kind of environment where I just get the piss taken out of me for it, which isn't healthy for a work environment. But I definitely know that would happen, so I just don't want them to find out.
I was going to say, there's some sort of stigma with YouTube in general, isn't there? Like, as soon as someone says something, they go, "Oh, wow, YouTube, cool." But like,
The one thing that I'm really scared of is like my students in the future finding my channel, because like I'm going to secondary teaching and I'm like, I don't think you'd be able to find it, but like the idea is just terrifying.
I know what you mean, yeah.
I'm hoping I'll be with the little kids, so they hopefully won't have access to YouTube. That'd be excellent.
Yeah, so we're not going to do another sprint because we're all exhausted.
Yeah, we're all very tired.
We
I
are
was
really tired.
talking I was going to come off at 9:30, so I can get
Yeah.
ready to get into bed.
Yeah,
But
we can end it like now because I'm like, I haven't had dinner and I am like starving. Like, absolutely starving. Yeah, I'm going to die of starvation and tiredness.
I
You need
always
to have dinner.
like, no, I always eat at like, well, between 6 and like 7 normally, like whenever suits. But like today I've been, well, normally whenever I have lives, I don't, because I'm like, knowing me, I'll just forget that I'm doing a live or something. So I don't.
I find that I don't have time like before.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, well, I'm going to have to starve.
Well, I told Tom to text me when he wanted food, and he's not texting me, so we might not be having food. We'll see what happens. It's a bit late now.
Takeaway to me.
nice.
Yes. Oh.
Okay, well, do you just want to end it now then? Because I'm like properly dying.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
you guys need to go and eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, thank you to everybody who watched. Yeah, I'll do another one at some point soon. But I'm sorry, but I'm exhausted. So
That's a good thing.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
thank you.
no worries.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll end it now. So yeah, it'll probably end it